Angels in Charge. The day was August 4th, 1946. Not just any day, but the day that began a life overflowing with miracle after miracle. 1946 was one of the winding down years for babies being birthed at home. Some doctors would still make house calls, but timing and transportation were not conducive to that end. Needless to say, by the mercy of God, I am still on the earth, 73 years counting. The birthing facilities in my case left a lot to be desired. Just a small room in a small wood boxed house. No indoor plumbing, so water would have to be carried in by a bucket. My grandmother, a midwife, and my mama and me were present and accounted for. The countdown had begun, with no backing out now, but leave it to me to prove everyone wrong. My birth was breech, causing more than a fair amount of excitement and apprehension, I would guess. I'm pretty sure it would have been hot outside and even hotter inside the house. Air conditioning at that time would have been available only to the wealthy. But to me, wealthy, and to my family, was knowing where our next meal was coming from. As time marched on, so did my entrance into a world not of my choosing. Of course, we all know under stress, time takes its good old time in passing. Eventually, with some help from the Lord above, I had arrived, only to run smack into the devil himself. The old proverbial slap on the bottom yielded no favorable results. Pinching was administered with an emphasis on how long and how hard. When all this failed, and Satan assumed my life was his to take, God stepped in and someone said, "Put him in a pan of cold water." They did just that, and I inhaled my first life-giving oxygen, a gift from the sustainer of all life. Often I think of how different things would have been if I had not survived. What comes to mind, first and foremost, are the 2 children I have fathered, the year I survived in Vietnam, and all the labor I put forth in raising a family, and the multitude of other things too numerous to count. Too often we devalue our contributions to mankind, thinking, my life doesn't really matter. That is not and should not ever be our attitude toward life. We all matter to God. How can we possibly say He has not proven that by what Jesus did on the cross? Every child of God has a life and a story to share with the world. We can all tell how we came to the realization of our need for Jesus and the joy that now lives in our hearts because He died on that cruel cross. So let your light shine that others might find Him also.